like him and me were going to be booking it, but it turned out to be him and Crazy Joe was pretty much the guys that were doing the promotion. So I just came in basically to help them start it or whatever. That was, I think it was 03 or 04, because it was right after my father passed. But anyway,
weren't you also sick at that point?
Yeah, I got, it was a hell of a year. 03 sucked donkey balls, man. I got bit by something. They never could tell me what it was.
Was it a spider?
They said the pattern of inflammation wasn't like a brown recluse. They said they never could tell me what it was. I assumed it was some sort of spider bite, but it ended up, I was sick for a week and had a fever for a week straight, and they had me on IV and all that, and this is right after my father passed. I wasn't really working out like I should have and everything, but I was ready to really call it right then. I was going to quit the biz, and that's when Tommy called and said they were starting IWC. So I was like, well, yeah. And I think he was just trying to help me out, because I mean, Tommy was the first one there when my father passed. You know, he was my boy, and so he said he was starting IWC, and I was like, okay, I'll come in and, you know, we'll do it. And, you know, I didn't ever pay nothing. You know, sometimes I'd have to beg them for $5 to put in my gas tank or whatever. But, you know, it had a little run there for a while, and I mean, the quality was always good, man. All the workers were usually pretty good, you know.
And there was the same concept of using students in the show.
Yeah, but I mean, it seemed like there was a lot more guys they brought in that were, you know, had been in the biz a little while. Okay. You know, it ended up, a lot of guys were turned off because Crazy Joe liked the hardcore stuff. And
what are your thoughts on the I mean, you obviously can do it and do it well, but
you know, it's one of them things that I think there's fine, but I just think that it should build to it. You know, a lot of guys just throw two guys in there together and a barbed wire baseball bat and it's a match or whatever. I think it should be the culmination of a feud. You know, started over pride or a woman or a belt or something, and build it, and then have some crazy hardcore, you know. But there's promotions out there that are built all around it, and that's fine. I guess they have their place, because, you know, a lot of fans just want to see blood or whatever. I don't know. It has its place, but, you know, I don't mind doing it at all, you know. I've done so much of it. It's actually easier than going out there and grappling and doing spots and stuff. You're just potatoing each other with God knows what.
There's actually a picture of you on the internet
that I took.
That
Mr. Reiner.
You look like a human horror movie.
Yeah, that's probably one of the worst deals. Yeah.
I assume there was a hospital visit?
Yeah. That was Christmas night.
Was it?
Yeah, that was Christmas night. Sure as hell was. And it was one of them, I think it was a 6-man tag or something.
One of those crazy.
It was one of them crazy, anything goes, everybody's got weapons and stuff. And I was, you know, set to juice and everything. And then I looked up and there was a ladder, the blunt end of a ladder coming straight at me, and ended up hitting an artery and stuff, and just splattered everywhere, man.
Yeah, the picture, it looks like you're probably about an inch thick, covered in blood.
Yeah, I lost a lot of blood that night. I soaked towel after towel, and ended up finally, after trying to super glue it shut myself, and I couldn't because it was just so constant. The blood, I couldn't stop it. And there was 2 spots, because, you know, I got with the ladder, and it wrecked my face, and it also broke my nose, blew out my eardrum. And the eardrum got infected.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, bleeding out the ear. Finally, about what was it, 1 in the morning or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife. Well, we weren't married then, but my wife to be.
At the time.
Yeah, she consented and brought me into the brought me to the emergency room, and I walked in there, and within moments there was a giant puddle of blood, you know. And this is at like 1 in the morning. Was 1 in the morning, and they were like, they thought I had been assaulted or in a wreck or something, and then they were like, we got to call
the police.
We have to call the cops. And I'm like, no, you don't have to call the cops, man. And they stitched it up, and we bailed before the cops got there.
They did call the cops?
As far as I know, yeah, they never said they weren't.
Did you tell them what happened?
I said I was in a wrestling match.
He drove home.
Yeah.
He drove home from.
I don't know why I drove. Yeah, I drove home, and like I said,
I was like, you sure you don't want me to drive?
I went through towel after towel. I don't think we had any towels left. They were all just sopping with blood, and I would take it off and just to see if it stopped, and it hit.
Even after it was still stitched?
Oh no, this is before.
Okay.
This is before, and this is right. Because she was like, "We need to go to the hospital right away." I don't know. Match was over at 9, 10 o'clock, and drove home. I'm like, nah. And I think at 12, I said, go to the convenience store and get some super glue, and I'm gonna fix this myself. And she hit it with super glue, and it all went in my hair. I had to cut a big chunk of hair out. It was hilarious. And the doctors also were laughing their ass off at that, because they used Dermabond on side of it and hit the other side with, like, I don't know, 13 stitches or something. But yeah, it was thing after thing, and finally around 1, I took it off, and it was hitting the ceiling, and I was like, yeah, go ahead and take me to the hospital. I think you drove to the hospital.
Yeah, I drove to the hospital.
Yeah.
You drove 2 hours home.
But I drove 2 hours home. Yeah, that's right.
From the match to...
Yeah, our seat belts in our truck still have dried up blood all over them and stuff.
While we're still on IWC, and I'm taking a chance here because I've never spoken to you about this, so we can edit this out if we need to.
All right.
But I had a conversation with Tommy after you left for a while at IWC. Apparently there was some heat between the two of you. You had some sort of angle. Tommy said he laid down for you and in some big bloody match, and when you were supposed to come back to do the return the favor and the climax and some, I think, a coal miner's glove match, he said you couldn't come.
Yeah. I don't remember the exact circumstances, to be honest with you. I know I didn't get paid squat most of the time I was there.
Oh yeah.
But
like I said, I can cut this completely out if you want me to.
I don't care, man. I'm just trying to recall the circumstances, But I know they originally wanted to put the belt on me first thing. I was supposed to be the first, and I was like, no, man, And I have a job, and I'll do the job for Tommy anytime, I mean, we probably had heat over some. Like I said, he's my boy, and he's always gonna be my boy. But at the same time, like we used to be in a band together. The band that did that song Alternate Reality, he joined us, and so when he quit that band, we kind of had some friction, and then I came back from my knee injury, and he and Rod Price, well, it's the whole class, but it's Rod Price's class. He was having them do interviews, promos, they were practicing. And so Rod's like, hey, you want to see something, Sirus? So I'm like, all right. And he shows Tommy's interview where he's shooting all over me, cutting a promo. And so I'm just sitting there, all right. And Rod says, you want to cut a promo, Sirus? So I cut a big promo on him. And remember how I said that Godfather dude was like, shoot on me, will ya?
Yeah.
So I started out, shoot on me, will ya? And I proceeded to, whatever. And afterwards, we were just both laughing our ass off, and it was water under the bridge. But, we've had our heat before, and, I hope we don't in the future, but, I guess he'll always be my brother. So.
When you're close friends like brothers, I was about to say, you're always going to have friction sometimes. Brothers fight.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the exact circumstances. I don't remember too many damn chair shots.